Now let's talk about the cafe. Let's talk about your mindset. Let's talk about your motivations. When did this whole plan kind of start brewing, all pun intended?
That's funny you should ask that. We were thinking about having a coffee shop for how long? Personally, I've always loved coffee shops. I'm kind of a child of the 90s, and, there's a lot of them. And
Friend, Central Perk.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So like over 10 plus years, I'd say.
We've had a business plan for...
Oh, yeah, our business plan was dated like 2011, I think.
Yeah,
actually.
So we always had it in the back of our mind that we wanted to do something like this. Didn't think it'd be Caffe Aroma on Elmwood and Bidwell, but we had it in our mind probably, going back as far as, 2010, we were thinking about this. Mm-hmm. It was just sometimes the stars align and things happen in a certain way, I guess.
And for the listener who doesn't know, I started working at the cafe in about 2003 while going to Buff State. And by 2008, I was managing the cafe. Throughout the next several years, I was kind of their office manager for the restaurants that they owned as well. And I did end up leaving in 2019. And that was a good time to get out of the restaurant industry. Stroke of luck there. And then in 2023, we came back to Caffe Aroma on Elmwood and Bidwell, and we purchased the business, and so now we're the sole owners of that location. No longer any ties to any of the Aroma restaurants, just, good friendships and good relationships with everyone there. But we operate independently. And so we're 1 year in, and it's been a pretty great year.
Did you have any kind of like family members or any other people in your lives that owned their own business that you said, aside from being doing the coffee shop thing, we want to be small business owners?
It's totally always been something on the table. My dad's ran a small business for the last 52 years doing water treatment in the Buffalo area, Buffalo Industrial Chemicals. And my brother is now the vice president of that company. Actually, my dad just retired last Friday.
Congratulations.
But, so I definitely come from that background of like small local business. You too, really?
Yeah. My father ran a small local newspaper dealing with local politics. Buffalo Alternative Press for years. That was a while ago.
But so it always seemed like the thing to do, just, the specifics matter so much, especially with something like a coffee shop. The specifics are key, and that's why it took us so long before we actually became business owners. Like, we live in the University Heights neighborhood of Buffalo, and for the longest time we wanted to open up a cafe on that stretch of Main Street near UB South Campus. But there's really not a lot of opportunity with the properties that are there. So unfortunately for us, and unfortunately for the whole neighborhood there, it never aligned. And then when the Caffe Aroma opportunity came to us, we felt like we shouldn't hesitate. We really need to jump on this because location, and Elmwood and Bidwell is a pretty great spot to be.
How did this whole process start with you guys getting involved in the ownership with the cafe?
So they actually reached out to us because of my prior management there, and they really wanted it to continue as Caffe Aroma, but they were ready to move on themselves. So I was kind of uniquely positioned to carry on that legacy while also breathing new life into it.
And you said that the ownership had owned a couple other restaurants as well?
Yeah, so like the people we took over from still own Main Street Aroma in Williamsville. Dave from Aroma on Bryant was a prior owner of the cafe at Elmwood and Bidwell. They're all separate now as far as ownership goes, but I've worked with everyone who was ever associated with any Aroma restaurant in the last 20 years. I've worked with them.
I had a night one night at the location on Bryant. Wow, I'll never forget that one. That was a crazy one. When you're hanging out with like some friends that are getting together from high school and like, why are we going to this place? Oh, now I see. It's that was an adventure.
Oh, that's a great spot. They've got a great bar there. It's right on the corner. Full dining room. Can't go wrong.
Yeah. It was definitely an interesting night. So you got the information, you got the intel, you got the inside track. This is a chance for us to get into the coffee shop business. What were your initial thoughts and plans going into it? Did you want to keep everything status quo, or were you already like brainstorming ideas of what you can add to the menu and kind of switch around?
Yeah, I think with any like new business owner, you would hope anyways, like we were coming in thinking, we wanted to elevate everything we could as far as like the food program, the beverage program.
I would say we enjoy our beer, and yeah, we definitely like a variety of beers, and we like to
we have a full liquor license at the cafe,
Yeah.
so we do cocktails, lots of craft beer and imported beer. We kind of switched up the wine list as well and kind of refined it to not just our taste, but just like a nice, like a well-rounded list, because it's not about what we like. It's about what people want when they come in the door. And then the coffee too, there were just some things that I tweaked based on my coffee experience, just like some things that we could do to make the coffee taste better, make better drinks, training staff.
Even the most of the food we serve is made to order. That's something that we wanted to change up, and the logistics of that were a little bit of a challenge. So like we make sandwiches are made to order now, and that was a big one. And sourcing things from other small businesses as well. I'll give a plug to Miller's Thumb over there. They provide us for our bread for our sandwiches. And then we work with Buffalo Delights, a small bakery that's on Main Street. She does orders and like catering. She doesn't have any retail right now, but like we wanted to also, hopefully soon. But we wanted to also partner with smaller local businesses as well.
Which we also partner with Amy's Place on Main Street, and we serve their house-made seitan for our vegan sandwiches, and we've been using their kitchen to supply the cafe with even more fresh goods. And we look forward to future partnerships going even further with Amy's Place. So,
how did you start that process? Like Miller's Thumb Bakery is amazing. I love that place to death. How does that start? Did you know the owners? Did they come in? Or?
No, we just love their stuff. So we literally just went in there and we were like, how can we serve this at our place?
Yeah, I guess it's all different because we do know, living in the neighborhood, we're very familiar with Amy's Place and the ownership there and kind of like a friend. But like we knew we wanted to serve their seitan on one of our sandwiches and some of their vegan cookies too, which are delightful. And so we just kind of knew them. That's more of a personal connection. And then Tina over at Buffalo Delights, we saw her mostly. She had a good web presence, and definitely saw that she did some really neat quality things. And so I kind of pursued her, and then we sat down and had a meeting. So different ways, I guess. All three of those instances are very different, the way we approached them.